and JDG already through. As well as KC, as we mentioned before, Genji, and T1 already in there as well. DK trying, but that's not going to work out as First Blood goes over to LeBron. To flash out of the way, does manage to escape, but let's see whether brokenblade is going to be so lucky, as there is the Shattering Strike flash out of Korea, picks up the turret.
But when he's left to his own devices, will feel naturally strong. Hansama dashes here forward, does a lot of damage, and then it's a Hex Flash engage. Tricky angle there on the dredge line. Almost looked like it was going to hit the turret, but was able to hit Smash there, and then Skumon comes over. Oh, way out.
Smash not going to have a whole lot of fun here. Does manage to get the scatter, but Smash will just be dancing around quickly. Skumon now finding Korea in the river. We'll be able to get that knock up onto the horse pants lady. Caps coming on over here as Showmaker was fresh off a reset. And this was not the time to roam. Now Skumon not quite capable of tanking that turret for long enough. The teleport brings Showmaker over to make sure that they are going to be all right. As Smash, Force of Will comes down, but there is the great scatter to cancel the culling, and the Unleashed Power. Dodge this, says Smash. And now Shiu, he's teleporting down. There's going to be another one. This Magnet Storm picks them up. It's Caps that locks down Korea though, but Shiu, he's got the auto attacks. He's able to find the damage, and G2, they flash away to keep themselves alive.
Now they do.
Yep, also going to go for the steel caps as well to make sure that this Jace is not going to be too much of a problem. But speaking of problems here, Showmaker looking to move towards that top side. The bubble is not going to quite connect onto brokenblade, who does decide that he's probably going to die, and so is going to just get rid of the minion wave before he does fall down. Korea locks up the kill, not exactly ideal here. P+ moving into the river, 2 minutes on the Drake, so we're not fighting over that one. We're just looking for a Rift Scuttler. Great knock up there onto his Demacian brother, as now Hansama possibly in a little bit of trouble. Getting a little sleepy as well, as now Smash makes its way in. She locks down Lebrov. Now Skumon could be in a little bit of trouble, but Cap shows up. Massive health bar. He's also got the Xin Zhao ulti running, and Shu has to get the heck out of dodge.
Yes, and this so much tougher with a poke comp when you don't have vision. As you can see here, D+ just cannot see where these two members are outside of Hansama, and Lebrov's going in.
Yeah, how can you poke if you don't know where? As now Lebrov going to take a whole bunch of damage. Battle Shelly comes on through as well, and the Nautilus is just destroyed.
They got that on
they did manage to get the crash. Never mind.
And they're getting this turret down. 2 turrets fall. Gold lead over to D+. As this equalizer isn't going to necessarily help brokenblade, who's in trouble. He's trying to go for the all-in.
Yeah, he does manage to get the silence off as man. Okay, that's a lot of burst damage. I have no idea. Shelly did move from the mid lane to the bottom lane though, and the Wind Becomes Lightning comes in through here at the same time. Lebrov unfortunately doesn't find the anchor into the wall.
G2's falling apart.
Able to take him down. Yeah, exactly. This is.
They have wards on the left and right side of the river, and now, if anyone on G2 is alone, they will be collapsed on and picked. They have to move as a group. Hansama alone!
Oh dear, the Scat of the Week comes on through. The Flash has to be used, but the Shattering Strike, the Magnet Storm is there. The Unleashed Power is not quite enough though, and Hansama creates enough distance. However, Lucid is there with the Audacious Charge. It's a 1-for-1 trade though of the AD carries. His career is going to get chased out. Great equalizer does come down as Showmaker. Oh dear, this is not where he wanted to show up. Lucid is going to die. Shiu is going to turn up as well, as Korea making his way back in, but the anchor is there from Lebrov, and immediately G2 are back on the board. I say that, they're getting a little sleepy as Skumon makes his way over, and Shiu is allowed to live for now.
A focal point here for G2. Once he has the IE complete, he is going to be a monster.
He really will. Smash is also looking for his, as Caps just gonna immediately engage, finds the Crescent Guard. Showmaker able to create enough space to get out, but the depth charge is doing so much work. Caps diving on forward, that is gonna be Lucid falling. Crashdown gets him out, as there is the Unleashed Power. 1 kill back. Other times, solo win. And we'll see which version Showmaker is going to be able to be as we get further along. As getting a little bit sleepy is the Nautilus. It's a lot of damage out, but brokenblade finds his way in. Shiu diving on forward. Caps gets sleepy and goes golden at the same time, as now Hansama trying to kite this one out, doing a lot of work. The culling cutting them up, and he has to get himself out of there. The Unleashed Power comes in, the last auto attack, as now it's Showmaker dancing around the battlefield, and a sleepy Rumble is going to get taken out by a paddle start. There is the Zoe I was talking about, and Showmaker making it look easy.
That last, because then the fight becomes so much more playable for us. Caps will dodge this one, but Lucid's still here.
Yep, stolen flash gets Showmaker over there. Dash cannon in. There is The ulti to come on through from lucid, whereby Caps here is now going to be taken down, and Showmaker looking for another one. Unfortunately, the minions are here, so that paddle star is not going to land. The Caps
G2
shows
just don't
up.
have the same chokehold control over this game. His career is a bit too far forward trying to clear this ward.
Yeah, going to get chained up. There is the Magnet Storm as well, as he's looking to try and escape. He's relatively tanky as he flashes out of the way, but that does mean that this Cataclysm is going to hold him in position very nicely. That Equalizer, so much better.
They gotta go straight to
Summer gets the laser beam out to take down the Jays. There's a rabbit on death cap on Showmaker. If he hits anyone with that Sleepy Trouble Bubble and then the Paddle Star lands, they may just die.
Smash is about to buy his. He's got TP. He's gonna grab that one and head straight over to this fight. This might be the last fight of the game.
Yeah, the bubble is on the ground as there is that death cap you were talking about. The teleport right into this mid lane as Caps. He's got that Crescent Guard once again. It is going to be very dangerous. Hex Flash gets Lebrov in there, but the scatter comes on down. Great Magnet Storm there from Korea. Heads to the skies, he goes, and Hans is dead. Caps finds the angle as well. A 2 for 2 so far, and they do eliminate. And now Showmaker trying to dance around the battlefield. He finds the angle, he picks up all of these flashes, and Lucid is there. The 3 Talon strike, Caps knocked up mid-dash, and now it's Showmaker able to make him look silly, and the ace is picked up. D plus Kia make it happen in the river, and they're gonna see.
I don't even know. Like, I want to watch that fight back again, but I don't know if we have time to, because we're going to go straight into this Infernal Soul potential contest here for G2. I mean, it's not an ideal situation, but they've got to try something. TP in from Broken Blade as they are going to try to stop this dragon from going over. Skuma in a good position here.
That's an aggressive teleport here from Caps. Does pick up the double bubble as Lebrov is already down to about a third health, and maybe nothing as the Magnet Storm picks up 3. Skuma into the backline, but he is immediately put down towards that GA as Hans is going to respawn. It's a double for the Jarvan, but the rest of DK, they'll find the angles, and look at Showmaker just skipping around the battlefield, and they will kill them once again, and now start that walk over.
Yeah, they have the super minion wave here. No Infernal Soul needed. Double Mage Comp is going to work here for D+, as they will knock G2 out of the Esports World Cup in 2026 with a 2-0.
What an unbelievable performance in back-to-back games. Different styles, and just made it look so incredibly good. Showmaker's Zoe, we were transported back to when he was that world champion in 2020, when he was so dominant in 2021. It was off the back of champions like this, and since then, he has had games like this spread throughout. But man, I was not expecting it here on the EWC stage.
Everybody had a part to play. The scatters coming through from Smash on the Syndra, the sleeps from Showmaker, but Career getting the flash on the Hounds in that critical.